Hello everyone, welcome to another Tech Tips. This is Chris. In today's video we're going to talk about how to live stream using your classroom audio enhancement camera and microphone. I'm going to demonstrate with Zoom, but this can also be done in Google Meet or whatever live streaming platform you use. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sign into the Pinedale portal. In the portal, what you're going to look for is the Epic icon. Epic is your classroom system. It's the audio enhancement system. The icon is a little green bell, and I have multiple of them in here, so I have all the systems. You more than likely only have your building. Click on the bell to open the audio enhancement system and log in. If you don't know your username and password to get signed into the Epic system, then contact your building tech and we will get that for you. For the purpose of this video, I have signed in as Jasper Warnberg because I don't have a classroom camera assigned to me and Jasper does. So we are going to use him as our guinea pig sample today. You can see I'm in the camera section, and there are some things in here that you need to set up prior to either recording or live streaming. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you've set your camera view, which you're going to hit the play button on here. This is going to turn to a live view of the camera, and you will use the eyeball open or close to open or close the lid shutter that is over your camera, and this other third green button is the move icon, which you can use to move your camera around to the position that you want. You do realize that when you click to move it, it takes 5 to 10 seconds for the camera to catch up, so it takes a little bit of time to get your camera set up. The next thing you're going to do is choose ambient or mic for your sound. This is your sound setting. This little dot that's showing on the camera right here is actually a microphone in the camera. If you have this selected on ambient, this camera is trying to pick up all the sound from the entire classroom. If you toggle this to the XD mic setting, this is your pendant mic that you wear around your neck, and the audio that will be streaming is the same audio that you are reinforcing in the classroom. It's very clear and clean. Unless you are needing to hear students, like maybe in a choir setting or some other setting where you need to hear the entire classroom, you are going to default to the XD mic. I'll switch back and forth so that you can hear what the difference in the sound sounds like, but XD is much better. Using your pendant mic for the source is a much cleaner audio source for streaming. I'm now going to open Zoom. Actually, before I open this, let's talk about this live button. This is kind of the magic behind the scenes. In order to use ViewPath Live, you need to have the ViewPath Live extension installed. So I'm going to open up the Software Center, and I've sent an email on this, on how to install this. ViewPath Live shows up right here. If I click it, I've already installed mine, so the only option I have is for uninstall. If you do not have this installed, this button will be blue and it will say install. You need to install this prior to trying to do any live streaming using your classroom camera. This is a definite prerequisite that's required. If for some reason Software Center is not on your computer or that's not installing properly, please let us know and we will get it installed for you. Now let's open Zoom. Now that we got the prerequisite taken care of. So here's Zoom. I'm going to open Zoom and I'm going to start a new meeting. When you've installed, so when you open Zoom, always join with your computer audio for this purpose. That's going to be your default setting. When you've installed that ViewPath Live software, what it does is it adds a microphone and a camera setting in Zoom or whatever your streaming source is. It adds it as a microphone source, microphone and video source that you're going to pick. So by default, you're going to come in here and your webcam is going to be selected. But you're going to switch this to your Educam, and you're going to switch your microphone to your Educam also. Now I am streaming, and it's streaming audio from the camera and video from the camera, but it's gray right now because we haven't actually put the camera in live mode. So if I come back to the system and I click this live button, we're going to get a message that says, do you want to open ViewPath? And you need to open ViewPath. I'm going to click to open this, and a little icon shows up down here, which is a ViewPath Live icon. If you right click, there are some options in here that we're going to go over in a minute. But now you can see behind the scenes here, my zoom is starting to show up.
Indian paintbrush,
and
he says,
you're hearing Jasper. So I'm going to turn the volume down here. Okay, so Jasper's got his camera set up in a split view. He's in the front of the classroom, the students are near the back, and Jasper is lecturing. So this is a great example of using the this XD mic. I'm going to turn the audio back up so you can hear what he sounds like, and I'm going to bounce over here and flip this back and forth so you can hear the difference.
Well,
okay, turn the volume
soil
up here.
uses different nutrients for each one of the crops. His soil today is fine, like flour. It just falls out of his hands. Neighbor uses petrochemicals.
Sounds pretty good.
Still clumped
So now
up.
I'm going to flip this back to ambient.
What do you think? Yeah.
I think it's interesting how nature already gave us a way to do things, something, and we think it's better to do it another way, even though we don't understand it.
That could be the curse of man, right? Right, didn't we say the Titanic was
Okay,
unsinkable?
so you could almost hear
You know
the
what
student, but
irony
not
is?
quite. And Jasper sounds like he's far
The
away.
opposite of what you think. What happened to the Titanic?
I'm going to flip this back.
It sank. Right? So now we got a
See
term
how
called
much better
hubris.
that audio is?
Have
It's
you ever
just
heard of hubris?
much clearer. Okay, I'm going to mute my speaker so we're not hearing Jasper. There's one other thing I want to point out. This camera, by default, is backwards. You can see that the letters down here, the label of the camera is backwards. You can flip the camera by right-clicking on this ViewPath Live, and here's that flip camera. And now the image that we're seeing here is the same thing that you would see if you're standing in the classroom. This is super important if you have anything, maybe up on the whiteboard that you want your remote viewer to be able to read. You can zoom in on whiteboards or into a different area of the room. Jasper has chosen to do it this way instead, which works fine. But just keep in mind that you may need to flip that camera. So once I'm done doing my streaming, I'm now going to click end to end my live stream. I've ended my meeting for all, and I am done streaming. However, the camera is still in live mode, and if I turn my volume back on,
But you're only testing the top 5
We're
of the
still
kids in the
hearing-
other country. You're testing 100%.
still hearing
one.
Jasper. That's because ViewPath Live is still running in the background. So even though Zoom is not using your microphone from there, ViewPath is. So I now need to right click and quit. This will now disconnect me from the live mode. Unfortunately, there's no way on your Epic screen to know if ViewPath is running or not. The only way you're going to be able to know is by looking in through your icons, and you won't have as many as I have, but you will have that little circle icon, and you'll have to right click and quit it to stop the audio from streaming to your computer. So in quick summary, you're going to get into the Pinedale portal, get into Epic. From Epic, you're going to click live to turn on the live mode, set your microphone the way you want it, open up Zoom, start a meeting, choose to join with computer audio, make sure that you have set your audio source to the Educam and your video source to the Educam, and you are streaming live from your classroom. I hope you find this video super useful. If you run into any trouble or you have any issues, please feel free to reach out to us, and we're more than happy to help jump into the classroom. If we need to install some software, we'll do that for you too, but feel free to reach out. Happy to assist in helping you deliver your classroom to some remote learning students, and everyone stay safe out there.